And here I was thinking about you. Couldn't just leave well enough alone, can you? Well, I'll skip the formalities. Tell me, who do you want to get rid of? A tall order, but you are an artist. At the top of this apartment, your prize awaits. Be gay and do crimes. Death awaits.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
You know how you relapse into playing old games again? This would be some multiplayer game that still has the servers online, a single-player adventure that was a part of your childhood, or Peak, the video game. I've been in that same kind of funk too. I've been going through some other games just as I've been trying to put together this video, but before I introduce the game, let me get a little bit of a backstory. When I was still going under the different moniker of Gentleman Gamer EC, I found myself doing Hunt Showdown videos. I'm still incredibly proud of these despite their simple nature, but with some funding from my school, I got the chance to do some indie game reviews. These videos were stuff where I used green screen effects, wireless mics, a better camera, which is a DSLR, and yeah, I'm still really proud of these videos. Of course, about a year ago, time has gone on and I've enlisted these videos, but in my new powerful form. I've been looking back at my game library from 2025 to find some way to break my head fog. And looking through some of this backlog through the sea of friend slop, one-offs, or just random games I bought on a sale, I found something in the corner, sitting, watching, covered in dust, the same way the tree looks in a forest with the wildlife passing it by. There it was, updated and ready for its return. Cruel. A lot has changed since I last talked about this game. Made by JAMESY, one of my favorite fast-paced corridor shooters of 2025, got its big final update in January, and now I'm here to catch you up to speed on it and give myself a little bit of room to ease myself back into the YouTube scene. So with that, enjoy this re-review of a classic that I reviewed about a year ago. Grab that soda, grab that pizza, and paint the apartment walls red. This is Cruel. I know I start off with a story with any of these reviews, but there is none. You are a bad person who wants to kill someone of your choosing in the beginning of the game through a ritual, and to stack up hundreds if not thousands of bodies to get to the top of a haunted hotel. Simple, effective, and gets the ball rolling. Cruel at its core is a fast-paced corridor roguelike first-person shooter where you escape a constantly approaching fire as you paint the walls red with blood of your enemies. It's essentially a power fantasy that can end fairly quickly if you let it. You first start off with a pistol and your fists, and while we'll go over the weapons later, the floors you're always constantly moving through because of the fire. Why is this happening? I don't know, maybe someone forgot to put out their cigarette, smoking laws and whatnot. But gameplay-wise, it's a great motivator for at least going fast throughout these levels. Speaking of movement, you have a simple run, no walking since you're always sprinting, jump, and slide jump. Because you are on a boxed hallway, there isn't sort of any slick Titanfall or bee-hopping movement you can really pull off, but the pace is so well defined that I really don't mind it. For me, I really love the slide jump. It can be used to close the gaps on enemies to kick them out of windows, or it can be used to just coolly enter through a door like, I don't know, Jackie Chan or something. And there in the hallway, you encounter your first two enemies. The Ghost is a black tar bendy the ink machine looking ass enemy that dies to one hit from literally anything. Kick, punch, bullet, anything you can think about. You probably could fucking just breathe on them, honestly. They are annoying when you bump into them because that implies that you lost your run to the mold from RE7, but then again, you have the pistol-wielding cultist, which poses more of a threat. There are two ways you can look at these guys. They are either the enemy that breaks your combo and has the trigger discipline of Chad Thundercock pulling you over on the highway, or free ammunition for your pistol. Either way, you will see these guys no matter what floor you're on. They die in 3 pistol shots to the chest, but a single headshot will always put them down. Besides that, there is a variety of other enemies to find. I'll just rattle them off quickly because they can all be described in different hindrances to your movement or playstyle. Cletus can't handle the recoil of any firearms because his arms are just simply like noodles. Instead of hitting the gym though and getting back that strength naturally, he's just now doing meth and now runs into an axe, bottle, or pipe that you see in the apartment. They hit you when they are close, but they die in the same way, headshot or a couple shots to the torso. The shotgunner is all about his title. Wielding a double-barrel shotgun that he oddly cocks it like a pump-action shotgun before firing, this guy will sometimes end your runs if you aren't careful. Just make sure to prioritize them when you can, just because they dish out insane damage. The Crow is the most annoying enemy in this game. Flying through your windows, they home at you at a slower speed than Clevis and die in one hit, but sometimes you cannot see where they're coming from, and it's just so fucking annoying. Makes me want to do what Robert Pattinson did to that one bird in the lighthouse. The Pig is a demon who is down on his luck. They spray at you with a submachine gun, but they usually spawn more in the side toilets. So imagine the pain they are going through before they even encounter you. The Maniac is Birmingham's prime citizen, but instead of the joke that is Clevis, they take one more headshot to kill and deflect incoming melee attacks. Truly a danger. But you have a double-barrel shotgun, so whee! The Monkey springs through the windows just like the Crow and bolts towards you at an insane speed. It's honestly just there for the funny factor, but can kill your combos more often than not. Not to make any political statements, but just shoot them on sight when they jump through the window so they can just go back out. The Nun, holier than thou, wields a lever action with the name of their fake BDSM fear and hunger god on them. They can be fast, but you're faster. Just kill them with a headshot. Next, the actual scariest thing living inside you right now, the fucking real actual skeleton, just got a pipe bomb and is ready to blow up the nearest marathon. It takes multiple bullet hits to put down, but a simple kick will send them flying back and have them explode on impact. Great for room clearing on later floors. I hate spiders. I have no reason to hate these guys, but they do make funny noises, but I just hate spiders. Deal no damage, but slow down your movement. And lastly, the Bulk. Wielding a chainsaw that should be yours, they take down multiple hits from bullets and melee attacks alike. Just keep your distance and you should be able to deal with them fairly easily. I recommend the lever action for this. And through this cast of crazed psychos, you stand at almost impossible odds. But they don't know you. And by the time you are done, they should have seen you coming. And that's where Cruel's arsenal comes into play. As stated, you start off with the revolver, fist, and the mighty Duke Nukem-esque kick. The kick is a useful stun to knock back your enemies, and can even kick them out of windows, which is super useful for some of the more annoying enemies like the monkeys or the shotgunner. But then, you have the rest of the arsenal. The double-barreled shotgun, for starters, is old reliable. Instantly kills things up close, but its spread can take out lighter health enemies such as the Ghost and the Crow, and even environmental hazards such as mines and claymores if you really need to get going. Just remember to reload it. Modeled off of the MAC-10, is a really fun-feeling weapon. In its use, it's just a spray and pray weapon for multiple enemies in one room, but when you're holding down the fire button, the weapon has an increasing pitch as it's empty. This is like every modern gun in a game. When you fire a weapon, the more it rattles and the lack of bullets in the magazine. And lastly, the lever action. Despite historically being a 2 magazine, this only contains 1 shot, but don't let that fool you. Besides one enemy in the game, this can pretty much one-shot anything and pierce through multiple targets before hitting the wall. Amazing when you want to conserve shotgun or SMG ammo, but just don't rely on it too much because of its clip size. With the firearms out of the way, now we get to move on to the more unique gameplay system, the melee weapons. You'll find them scattered around the apartment as you're running from the fire. At first, you may think that a bat or a sword will do different damages or something complex that you need to pull out a graphing calculator just to see if you're going to kill that bird that just swooped through your window. But nope, all of them have the same damage, but different durabilities, usually 6 to 8 hits. Each hit with the weapon causes 1 loss of its durability. However, these make these incredibly viable and essential for your run. Let's start with an easy one. When you press the E key, you can throw the weapon at an enemy as a projectile to basically one-hit kill them. Now realistically, this is a panic option for stuff like if the Clevis comes up to you or asks for some money like the LA homeless, but in a smart way to use it is when it's low durability. You basically throw it as a guaranteed hit and kill. If it doesn't kill them though, you can just knock them back on their feet for some breathing room. But now the best part of this weapon, which ascends past even the firearms of the game. Take a look at this nice chap right here. He's about to shoot me. My reaction time is not quick enough to maybe fire my pistol, but I do have a melee weapon with high durability, so why would I throw it? Well, I guess that's the run right there. I guess I would... What the? Yes, you heard that right. Regardless of the melee weapon, you can parry projectiles in this game. It's just such a simple mechanic, and while without upgrades, you're not turning yourself into John Ultrakill. It's just such a satisfying gameplay mechanic to show how much of an unstoppable monster you are. Hell, this game didn't even really need a parry mechanic, but goddamn, it's super fun.
In Dark Palace, the first floor, we meet Binky Drinky.
Hold on, fucking... Yo, bro, son, what do you want, son?
Ain't shit, bro. It's good. What you fucking with?
Son, I'm
Binky Drinky.
bro, you fucked up.
Losing his pacifier.
Welcome to what I call the intermission. Before checking out whatever the fuck those things are at the bottom, let's check out the other options. First, there's the tape machine that can change the next floor's song to a couple different artists that are all blood pumping and awesome. My favorite being Wimp because of its Carpenter Brute-esque sound, but if you want to hear more of these guys' work, I'll link their music pages below, and I'll even link a playlist. But then there's the conventional exit if you want to ignore the malicious looking dog, and then there's the ominous gamble sign. When you click it, you have a chance of getting a soda can added to your inventory. I think this is random the way that works, but I want to assume that every time you gamble, you have a higher chance of getting the can depending on your combo. Happens if you fail the gamble? Moving on from gambling addiction aside, you have the perks. Finally, I get to talk about perks. When you complete a floor, you can buy one perk that the dog offers you for one soda can. I guess I didn't mention it before, but soda is gathered from vending machines that are scattered across the floors you traverse, and can hold a max of 3 cans without any additional perks. Soda is also a way to use as a heal or a massive shockwave AoE if you crush the can, but usually you want to conserve these and get through the floors basically undamaged. But if you don't have any soda, you can gamble or go to the next floor without a perk. If you also don't like the perks that are presented to you, you can re-roll it with the cost of one soda can. But more often than not, I use all my soda cans just to think that I can get something good, and then I turn off the game for the day because I'm that fucking stupid. But the point of perks in this game is not just about the survival, it's about the fun factor. Sure, you have perks that do the normal upgrades such as increased health, faster reloads, more health from soda, and increased ammo on enemy kills. But those are boring. You and I know that they're both boring. So that's why there's a spread of fun, wacky perks to spice up your runs. Do you want a Bowser fart gif on an enemy so they fly out a window? There's a perk card for that. Do you want a chainsaw every time you drink a soda? There's a perk card for that. Do you want a perk card that lets you do manual exercise in order to regain health? You guessed it, that's a fucking perk. And that's the highest praise I can give about this game. For a game that's so fast-paced, power fantasy, and even gritty, it doesn't take itself seriously and can have some fun laughs. Like, I know that people are for the grit of the game like Hotline Miami, and hell, I love my games with an edge to them that puts you up against impossible odds, Souls-like extraction shooters, and just general CBT. But sometimes, just having a game where you're doing mindless killing and shooting is exactly what you might need. After finishing a long shift at work, or taking a break, or even coming back from a thought-provoking game, you just need something to kill time. And coming back to this game in this final form as a breath of fresh air for me of how I look at games I review. Sometimes you just want to take a shotgun and blow some bitch's lynch move off while having some randomization and funny perks and enemies. It doesn't have to be that deep, but it can be fun. Anyways, before wrapping up this review, a couple more things that we have to talk about. For those looking for something more, there are extra game modes that you can play. First is Endless Mode, where you pick 5 perks at the beginning of the run, and then you basically go through the entire apartment in an endless amount of floors, basically trying to get the highest combo that you can. Fun, mindless, everything you need. Perfection is a harder version of the game where you cannot acquire any perks and soda doesn't heal you. You can still use soda as a pushback weapon, but that's about it. Basically, reflexes, skill, and game sense will get you through this. I still have yet to beat it, but I got to floor 9. And last but not least, there's the British Gazer mode.
Number 12, Cockroach.
If you didn't catch the hint, you basically can only use melee weapons for the entire duration of the run. I completed this once on a previous version of the game, and I have not completed it yet, but it's a fun challenge and what I would recommend if anyone wants something extra first. Cruel is a fantastic bite-sized power trip that doesn't wear out too quickly and keeps you coming back for more. The soundtrack, the gameplay loop, and humor is well worth your time and its base price. And while the game dev is not updating the game anymore because this is the final version, they now are working on a new unnamed project as they post updates on their Discord. So if you're looking for more of that, go find them on their socials in the link in the description. Don't know what we're going to talk about next week or maybe in 2 weeks, but welcome to the official summer of Montag. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for sticking around as I try and wrestle with what I want to do, mentally and physically. Follow me on socials, like and subscribe, and I hope that you have just a fantastic day. Now, if you excuse me, I'm quite parched.
Mario!